Most people who try Make.com for the first time usually give up within the first few hours. Not because it's too hard, but because they make the same 5 mistakes, get confused, and assume automation just isn't for them. It is for them. They just needed someone to show where it actually goes wrong. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of those 5 mistakes and fix each one of them by building a real automation from scratch. And by the time we hit mistake number 5, you will have a fully functioning automation running in your own Make.com account. No coding, no prior experience needed. Let's get into it. Okay, super quick contest before we get into it. Make.com is a tool that connects your apps together so they can do stuff automatically without you being involved. For example, your apps right now, Google Calendar, Notion, Gmail, they all live in their own little world and have no idea other tools exist. Make.com will sit in the middle and start passing messages based on the rules you set up once. And that set of rules is called scenario. And every scenario has a trigger, the thing that actually starts it, and one or more actions, depending how complicated your automation really is. And that's literally the whole concept. Trigger and action. That's it. When this happens, do that. We'll make it make sense as we build it. Here's what we're building today. I'm a nursing student and I have a job as well. And I have this. So my calendar is pretty, actually not pretty. Tips, lectures, exam, placements, all jumbled up together in my calendar. And I was never actually keeping track of my time, like how much I'm spending on each of my tasks. Because of that, I wasn't really stretching myself out properly. So I built a scenario that watches my calendar, and at any time with an event with a shift, exam, class in the title gets created or updated, it automatically logs into this Notion database with a type, date, time, location, and any notes already filled in. 4 modules, totally automatic. And we're building it one mistake at a time. So the first mistake, and honestly the one I made myself when I first opened up Make.com, just clicking around the modules with no real idea of like what you're actually looking for. You see hundreds of apps and you start poking around, but nothing makes sense. And 15 minutes later, you connected different modules that literally don't do shit. They don't do anything. The reason this happens is simple. People don't know the difference between a trigger and an action before they start building it. So let me clear that up in less than 30 seconds. Your trigger is a starting gun. It's the when. For example, when a calendar event is created, when an email arrives, when someone fills out a form. There's always one trigger per scenario, and it always goes first. Always. That's why it's the trigger, always on the left side of a canvas. And everything else is the action, the then. When, then. Then create a Notion entry, then send an email, then add a row to Sheets. Actions go after the trigger, left to right. And if you place an action before a trigger, your scenario has no idea when to run. It just sits there. Now let's do it right. Click the big plus circle in the middle of the canvas and a search box will appear. Type Google Calendar and select it. And you'll see a list of things this module can do. The ones with the small lightning bolt are triggers. These was for the things that are happening. And the one we want in this scenario is watch events. It needs permission to access your calendar. Click add a connection and sign in with your Google account and accepts the permission. Standard stuff, same like a login screen you would see in any app that you're connecting Google. And once you're connected, a configuration panel opens. In the calendar dropdown, select your main calendar, the one with all your dates and all your data. For the form field, choose from now on so it doesn't go back and try to process every event you've created since the last 10 years and leave the rest as default. Trigger is placed. So this is our trigger. And anytime a qualifying calendar event appears, this module fires and sends all of its data forwarding through the scenario. Takeaway from mistake number 1. Always know your trigger. Always build left to right. Trigger first and everything else after. It's just easier to do it anyways. Okay, mistake number 2. This one's a bit funny. You build the automation, you turn it on, you feel great. But then you open up the Notion on next day. It's full of bullshit, like full of the things that you don't need. Your dentist appointment, maybe your GP appointment, your friend's birthday, your birthday that you don't even give a fuck about. Because when your trigger is watch events, make.com doesn't actually know what you need and what you don't need. It's just following the set of instructions that you've given it. It's just going to watch event and just put everything on it. Unless you tell it specifically, don't do this. The tool for this is called the filter, and it's right here. And a lot of the beginners don't even know it exists. It's not optional. Well, technically it is, but your Notion data analytics will suffer, or anything you do will suffer. A filter sits between two modules and says only continue if the condition is true. And we're gonna add one right now. Hover over the line of like your right side of the Google Calendar module, and a small wrench icon will appear like this. Click it, then click set up a filter. Give it a label, whatever you want. Work, study. If you want to build it with me, just do exactly what I do. And in the condition below, click the first drop down and look for summary under the Google Calendar data. And that's what Google calls the event title. And in the middle drop down, the operator. Choose contents case insensitive. This one. Case insensitive just means it will match shift and shift equally. Good. In the value field, type shift. Type shift. Now, click add all rule. Same field, same operator, type class. Add one more or rule and type exam. Make sure all of these conditions are connected by or and not and. Or means match if any of these is true. And will mean like the title must contain all three of this simultaneously. So unless you're naming your title shift class exam altogether, it's not gonna work out. So check the connector and confirm it says all. And then click OK. Your filter is in, your dentist is safe, your Notion database is safe, and everyone wins. And takeaway from mistake number 2 is always filter when your trigger is broad. And double check just the condition if you're putting it or and. Because these small mistakes will really waste your time when you're at the end of your automation, because there will be thousands of things to look out for. So if you don't go one by one, it's gonna be really hard at the end. Trust me, I'm speaking from my personal experiences. I've suffered very hard. So just be careful when you're starting it out. Just taking your 5 minutes extra just to double check will save you 2 hours, 3 hours later on. And mistake number 3, and this is my personal favorite to explain, because it's one of the mistakes that makes people go or realize like, that's what it's supposed to do, because that's what happened to me. Here's what happens. Beginner opens their first action module, sees empty fields, types in the values manually, type shift, location hospital, date Monday, they run it. It works. They feel accomplished until they realize it always says Monday and hospital, no matter the condition, no matter the location, no matter the event. They have essentially built an automation that does one hard-coded thing instead of responding to real data, which kind of defeats the whole point of this automation. If you're gonna hard-code either way, you don't need an automation. The right approach, data mapping. When the Google Calendar module fires, it captures everything about that event. The title, the start time, the end time, location, description, all of it. Anything that contains. And that data will travel throughout your scenario, and it's available to every single module on the scenario. So what do? Instead of typing values manually, you just map it. And every time you run the scenario, it will use specific data that it got from that event. Yeah. And that's the whole power of this thing. Now, let's build the Notion module and we'll map everything correctly. Quick pause before you click anything. Go and make sure you have a Notion database set up for this. If you don't have that yet, just pause the video, just go there and just do it. It takes like 2 to 3 minutes anyways, and you will need it. And click plus after the filter and search for Notion and select create a database icon. That's the action that adds a new row to your database every time it runs. And connect your Notion account. Click add a connection, authorize it, and when it asks which page to grant access to, select your database. That's it. Come back once it's done. Now, you select your database in the first drop-down. Make.com will load all your database properties as fillable fields, and this is where we map. For the title field, click inside it and look for the small color variable icon. Click it and you will see a drop-down of all the data coming from your Google Calendar module. Select summary, and that's the event title flowing straight into Notion. Takeaway from mistake number 3, never type fixed values into your action fields. And that one habit is the difference between an automation that kind of works and one that does something genuinely useful. Mistake 4 is one of the core mistakes that sends beginners into like a spiral, quiet spiral. And it happened to me as well. Let's say, for example, you build the scenario, everything looks perfect, you hit run once, and nothing appears in Notion. No error messages, no bubbles, just nothing. And when that happens, naturally, your brain goes, you must have done something wrong, right? And you start looking for mistakes all over through every module. And 9 times out of 10, it's not really broken. The scenario ran perfectly. It just had nothing to process. And here's what's actually happening. When you click the run once in this scenario, Make.com goes and checks your Google Calendar for new or updated events, not the ones that it actually already ran. And if it doesn't find anything that matches your condition with the type, shift, class, or exam, for in this example, it's not going to do anything because there's nothing. No results is not an error. It's the correct behavior. The scenario is actually working as designed. It just has nothing to do. And this trips people up like crazy, like it did to me when I first started getting into automation and stuff. We have to understand, Make.com isn't just generating data. It's responding to the data that already exists in your apps. If the data is not there, there's nothing it can do, right? So let's prove this right now so you can see actually the difference between the broken and no result. I'll do a test run here. I press it run once, there's actually nothing. But if I go back and choose a specific date to run this, let's see, let's put this on, I think I have it on 4th. So put it from 4th and click run. And that's the difference between having a new data or having a data and not having any data to check on. Now, let's check Notion. We should see brand new rows and entries on there. So yeah, everything's done, everything's written, all text field. Yeah, so everything's filled. Your database is done. You fill every time. It's okay. This is my old scenario, so I've been testing quite a few times before making an actual video about it. So takeaway from mistake number 4 is don't panic or go into spiral when you don't see anything happening. Most of the times, it doesn't have anything to run on. Just do what I did here and just run it back from where it actually had the data. Last one. And I'm putting this last one because it's less of a technical mistake and more of a mindset one. And it's probably the most important thing that I'll say in this video. When Make.com, like any automation that will start to click for you, there's a moment you will know when your brain just starts going. Like, okay, what if I also added this? What if I also added that? Like, and you start getting into this crazy 15 or 20, 25 modules in one scenario that kind of does everything from A to Z. After like 10 modules, you try to test, something somewhere is broken. And you have no idea where the fuck did you actually break it. Because you built 10 modules in one go. This is overbuilding. And the reason it hurts so much is you don't have any reference point to go back to except the start, a very start. And you have no idea which modules were working before the broken one because you never checked it. And the whole thing is just one untested blob. And the habit that fixes this, and this works whether you're building your second automation or your 50th. Build one module at a time and confirm it works. before you add the next one. Place your trigger, run, test, and make sure it picks up from the right events, not just random. Add your filter, add your action, just test, test, test every single time. It's not hard, you just run it once, that's it. And you have thousands of operations even on the free tier. And that's how each step gets tested before you build the next one. It sounds slower, but it's actually much faster because now you will never spend like 30 or 50 or like an hour like before you test anything, because you know your reference point, you know where you had the mistake, or at least you have sort of an idea. Look at what I built today. 4 modules, clear levels, tested and confirmed working at each step. That's it. It doesn't need to be more complicated. Like honestly, a simple scenario that runs every day reliably is worth 10 clever ones that keep breaking. Now let's turn this on properly. Bottom left of the canvas, click the scheduling button and set it to every 50 minutes or whatever you want. Then find the active toggle on the canvas and flip it from gray to blue. And finally hit save, this floppy disk icon. Make.com doesn't auto save. So if you don't press this floppy disk every single time you've done your scenario, you messed up big time. So your scenario is live, it's gonna run every time you've asked it to, every 15 minutes or whatever. Make.com is gonna check your calendar quietly. Any shift or any exam or any class is just gonna get logged into this Notion database and you will have all the data. And the only thing you need to do, just keep using a calendar like you always do. That's it. And take away from missing number 5, and really the whole video, start small and test as you go, and only add the complex parts once the simple parts are done. You gotta learn, you gotta hone your automation skill. So I would suggest you to do some complex stuff here and there as well. And that's not just a Make.com tip or any automation. That's just how you build that's something that actually lasts a long time. So that's 5 mistakes, 5 fixes, and 1 working automation. Your Google Calendar is now talking with Notion without you having to do anything. And all of your data is getting mapped and getting written on your Notion database, getting entered for free, saving you so much time. And if you want to push this even further, a good next step would be to add a module that sends you like a weekly summary email with your total study, total work hours. So 1 more Notion read module, 1 Gmail module, and you already know enough from this video to figure everything out. If this was helpful, a like or subscribe would be really useful. See you in the next one.